Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. I am thrilled to have you here tonight. I'm so happy you decided to click whatever link you clicked that got you here. It's going to be a fun show tonight. Before we get it going, if you're new to this and you're not a member of the Facebook page, you should go over right now and join that. If you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video, that's where you can find the most active part of this community. That's where I book this show for the most part. I feel like I'm already about to lose one of my players. I don't want to draw attention to it, but basically, I'm going to start booking for August shows coming up real soon because it's almost August. So if you want to be a part of this show, go there now and join and wait for that list that's going to come out in the next week. We do this show 2 times a week, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. But you know that part because you're here now, maybe. Or it's the future. I don't know how time works. I'm losing concept of time. And if you're not on Facebook, if you're like a good person, maybe you're on Instagram or Twitter, find the show at IMDb Game. You can be a part of it there too. I love having new people on the show, and I want to have you on. We do have a new guest tonight. Before we get to that, tonight on the show, we are doing movies based on true stories. I hope that the movies that I've put together on this list, you don't argue with me about. I try to not do ones that are like loosely based or can be, cannot be. You know, like the fact that Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs all say that they're based on a true story because they all kind of pull from Ed Gein. We're not doing that. Also, we're not doing Fargo, even though it's my favorite. That movie starts off saying this is a true story, and that's just a lie. It's just a lie that they put at the beginning of the movie, and I love that. Now, these movies, I think unambiguously, whether or not they're like all true or anything like that, they are all based on some kind of true story. I've talked enough. I think it's time to bring in our guest tonight, and we've got some great guests tonight. Joining me on the show are Conor Shanahan, Manix Catino, Sammie James, and Paul Kilmer. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hold on.
Hello.
Let's start off with the person who, the last time I was setting up shows for the month, I asked for suggestions for topics on the Facebook page, and this person suggested movies based on true stories. Manix Catino back on the show. Hey, Manix.
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
Good.
How are
man,
you?
You're gonna make me think of my favorite one now, aren't you?
I will be asking that. I mean, you should have one because, like I said, this was one of your suggestions, so you should win tonight.
Ironically enough, most of the movies that I watch are probably either based off a true story or at least make me feel like they're based off of true stories or make off of my life even.
Well, can you suggest one that you think people might want to see?
I'm looking through my list right.
Oh, you have a list.
No, I have all my DVDs right in front of me. Oh, that's right. The Iron Giant isn't based off a true story.
No, I remember that happening.
Me too.
I can't think of one.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming back on the show.
Tom Hanks movie.
What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Oh, let's see. Tom Hanks.
Toy Story. Perfect.
Big.
I was going to say the most recent one that I saw, but it's not a true story, but it wants to be a true story.
Elvis is a true story.
I haven't seen it yet. I ended up watching The Things We'll Do instead.
I still haven't seen that. That's on my list.
I saw it for the first time 2 days ago.
Does that hold up?
It was amazing.
I should see that. I feel like I like that.
But the one where he plays Mr. Rogers, I can't think of the name.
Oh, Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood.
Will You Be My Neighbor or something like that? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
One of them was a documentary. The other one was Tom Hanks.
Uh-huh.
He was great in that documentary, though.
He was so good in the documentary as Mr. Rogers. Well, Manix, welcome back. Also returning to the show, fresh off her win from the Monday show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, despite my best efforts.
Sammie James back on the show. Hey, Sammie.
Hey.
Always great to have you here. Yeah, you spoiler alert, you took home the win on Based on Books. And true stories, those are just books that haven't been written, right?
Yeah, and listen, some of those books were based on true stories.
Absolutely, and there are some crossover movies on these two lists. Do you have a favorite or one that you really like?
Honestly, like, and I same boat, because I was like, Nick's gonna ask. Let me think. And
This is the 22nd time you've been on the show.
I'm like, Nick's gonna ask. I should have an idea. And the thing is, I've seen a bunch. I've seen a whole bunch. And my mind is blank. My
Perfect.
brain is
This is
blank.
going to be a great show.
So I am going to, you know what? There's that movie. I've never seen it, but you know, it seems like a great story. That movie about the surfer who lost her arm.
Soul Surfer.
Oh, Soul Surfer. It's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never seen it. I just remember that.
But I'm
happening.
like, you know what? That seems like a good one.
I remember that popping up as a story in my Sports Illustrated for kids. Back when I pretended to be a kid interested in sports.
When was that? That'd be like 2 days of your life.
I played soccer for like 10 years.
That doesn't count.
No, it's barely a sport. I sat on the ground. Well, Sammie, welcome back. Also returning to the show.
Doggo.
Also off of his win on the last episode he was on, that I'm trying to think of what that episode was. And I can't think. He's just great at this game, and I always love having him on. Conor Shanahan back on the show. Hey, Conor.
What's up, Nick? What's up, everyone?
How you doing tonight?
I think it was sequels part 2, like with.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are great at naming full sequel titles. You pulled, I think, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
No, the Ghost one.
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol, yeah. That one I was very surprised with, but great to be here as always. I have had 2 guests now to think about your question, and
can you be the first one to name a movie?
I don't know that it's my favorite, but I have revisited it like in the last 2 months. It's a great movie. John Sayles' 8 Men Out, about the Black Sox Chicago White Sox trial, you know, when they threw the World Series. It's a great old movie. It's, you know, just like old filmmaking, but done in the 80s. And yeah,
I haven't
that's
seen that
my
one
answer
either.
for that one.
I should
Always
add
good.
that to the list. Well, Conor, welcome back.
Good.
Finally, brand new to the show. So excited to have him here. A comedian, a magician, great guy, Paul Kilmer on the show. Hey, Paul.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I don't know.
You seem. I feel like you came dressed for the show. You have a shirt with one of my favorite movies based on a true story.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
So you were saying you're a movie fan, right? You like movies.
Yeah, at one time I worked at a movie theater and Blockbuster at the same time because I like being yelled at.
What do you mean you don't have the obscure movie from Japan?
Oh yeah, but they're not obscure. It's just everybody gets them all on Thursday and then doesn't. How many people brought their movies back? That's what happened. Anyway, I'm gonna move on before I ramble.
Well, do you have a movie based on a true story that you really like, or are you in the same boat with everyone else?
Yeah, Titanic.
Perfect, right there. I've never seen it. I probably will never see it, but I hear people love that movie.
Yeah, There was a movie. It's actually interesting. The movie that they made about it, like in the 40s, is somewhat better than the one that James Cameron did. But anyway, let's move on.
All right. Well, Paul, welcome to the show. All of you, thank you for coming back. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen tonight. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies that are all based on true stories. As I say every time, I don't write these warnings. I don't know who writes these warnings.
I do.
Apparently, Manix has become the second guest to contribute to one of these, which eventually will completely fuck up this show. Anyway, these warnings written by people with way too much time on their hands. Real weirdos, people you'd never want to meet in real life, as far as I'm concerned. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read these warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. And unless anybody wants to add anything, I think it's time to jump into the game. And to do that, Connor, you get to pick the first year.
Okay.
Would you like a movie from 1993, 1999, or 2018?
93.
93. All right. First movie of the night, based on a true story from 1993, for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. A bar fight played comedically includes a beer bottle being broken over a man's head. Sammie has a guess. Anybody else? Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
Yeah, already deciding this will not be a second win in a row, because this isn't the year it came out. But I'm really excited for the acknowledgement that They Live is based on a true story.
Yeah.
I mean, that that's incorrect. Based on every aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. Well, Sammie, I'm glad you're back on the show. For 4 points under the category of profanity, the language is surprisingly strong for a Disney movie.
Oh.
Paul's going to guess. Manix, you're also going to guess.
The
Paul, what do you think?
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Manix, what do you think?
Oh, I was going to say Remember the Titans.
It is not Remember the Titans. It is not The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I do have a guess, but I'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
I
missed that.
A real one.
A real one. Let's see if this helps anybody else. For 3 points, also under profanity, several hells and dams, numerous butts, 1 instance each of asshole, $2 hooker, and Jesus Christ used as an exclamation, a couple of slang terms for male genitalia, dozens of occurrences of badass mother, repeated almost as a mantra by 2 characters.
Did you say this was a Disney movie?
I sure did. Manix has another guess. Anybody
It
else?
isn't what I was going to say.
All right, Manix, what do you think?
Is it The Replacements?
It is not The Replacements.
All right, I've gotten 2 wrong. I'm out of here.
Paul's.
Paul, what do you think?
Is it The Sandlot?
It is not The Sandlot.
Damn it.
That's a good guess.
It is. These are all definitely movies, and some of them might be Disney movies. For 2 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, one of the characters asks another character what he's smoking, but he's actually breathing out cold air. I don't know if I've ever seen Connor this stumped on one.
Huh.
All right, final clue for 1 point under violence and gore. Black and white film footage of bobsled crashes show in one scene.
Oh, I know.
Paul's going to have a guess. Sam's going to have a Connor. Everybody's going to. Paul, what do you think?
Is it Cool Runnings?
Manix, what do you think?
Cool Runnings.
Connor?
Cool Runnings.
Sammy?
I really want to maintain wrong answers, but it is Cool Runnings.
It's the Jamaican bobsled team. This is Cool Runnings.
What the wrong sport?
Yeah, everybody went football and then baseball. We hit all this. Why didn't you think bobsledding with all of the movies about bobsledding?
That was a good John Candy film.
It was.
Well, you said the words asshole and Disney, and the only thing I could think of was the replacements where you learn that this means asshole.
Yeah, that was like erasing the dry erase board when those two words came out together. I was like, nope, Bambi too. I don't know.
At the end of the first round, Connor, you're in the lead with 1. Sammy at 0. Manix and Paul both at -1.
Oh, that's because I messed up, huh?
Manix, would you like a movie from 1994, 1997, or 2015?
How about 2015?
2015.
Why not?
Why
That was a
not?
good year.
One of the last ones we were all still alive. 2015. For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, this is a very violent and gory film. Almost every scene in the movie has some type of gore in it. All right, for 4 points under sex and nudity, a blurred naked man is seen dying from a distance. His genitals can be seen, but are very difficult to make out, and you see his butt covered in blood. Not very graphic, and in no way sexual. I'm glad they let you know that this dying naked man covered in blood is not sexual.
I mean, they say that, but here I sit and I hear it. And, it's a little different.
All right, for 3 points under profanity, 23 uses of fuck, primarily by Tom Hardy's character.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
Shit, I'm trying to raise my hand.
All right, Connor, what do you think?
It's one of 2, and is it called Legend?
It is not Legend.
Okay.
For 2 points under violence and gore, the movie is incredibly violent, containing strong and brutal depictions of graphic frontier violence with bloody injury images.
Come on.
We get it. It's violent.
All right, Connor.
Is this The Revenant?
The Revenant. He's alive. Damn it. That's been stuck in my head. It was on Vine. I forget who did it. It might have been Demi Adijuibe. But yes, this is the Revenant.
It's the bear. If any of them had mentioned a bear eating Leonardo DiCaprio, I would have known that real quick.
If you can. Yeah.
Well, the 1 point clue under violence and gore, during a long uninterrupted tracking shot that lasts for several minutes, which is one of the movie's most famous scenes, a man is brutally and viciously mauled by a hungry grizzly bear, although he survives. And then it goes on for a while. I don't need to read all that.
I tried.
The Revenant, a movie that people loved, and at one point I had to just go to the lobby because I was bored. Feel like I missed something.
You should have went to Taco Bell.
Hey, you missed lunch.
That's where I go when I'm bored.
Connor is now at 2 points. Sammy's at 0. Manix and Paul are at -1. Paul, you get to pick this year. Do you want a movie from 1979, 1995, or 2016?
We're gonna go with 1995 is a good vintage.
It is. A lot of movies came out in 95.
I hope this one's Con Air.
Me too.
From 1995 for 5 points under sex and nudity, a man and a woman kiss passionately in each other's arms and then lie upon a bed. They are implied to be nude, but they are only shown from the shoulders up. Later, the woman becomes pregnant with the man's child.
It's like every movie.
Right.
Okay, for 4 points under violence and gore, a severed head is pulled out of a box in a close-up briefly.
Oh, why did I choose 1995?
All right, Connor, what do you think this movie is?
I don't know if this is based on a true story, but is this Seven?
You would absolutely know that Seven was based on a true story. This is not Seven.
Okay. Oh, fuck! Okay.
All right. For 3 points under sex and nudity, a woman says that her lover talked a lot in bed and that, quote, Englishmen don't know what a tongue is for.
Oh, man.
Okay, it looks like it's just going to be Connor again. What do you think?
This is Braveheart.
This is Braveheart.
You win.
Head in boxes.
Uh-huh. Yes, Seven also came out in 95, and when I saw that I could use that clue in this movie,
Well
thrilled.
played. Well played. I was like, I missed this piece of true crime, lore. Holy shit.
Also in Braveheart, under profanity, medieval Scottish slangs, but also uses of shit, fuck, and bastard. And sex and nudity, Scottish soldiers lift up their kilts to talk the English army before a battle. We see frontal nudity, which includes penis, pubic hair, and testicle from a distance, and
Only
bare
one.
buttocks.
Only one
I like
testicle.
how
Just one.
It's just one testicle.
Just the single testicle. But back in 95, we called him Mel Gibson.
Nice.
Connor's now at 4, Sammie at 0, Manix and Paul at -1 each. Sammie,
I'm
do you
so
want a
sorry.
movie from 75, 2010, or 2019?
75.
75. Let's go back a little bit. For 1975, for 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes, the film can be stressful and anxiety-inducing due to the situation, but there's nothing super intense or graphic. In other words, this is a movie. Sammie has a guess. Sammie, what do you think?
I don't know. Is that when Dog Day Afternoon came out? No, it isn't.
Dog Day Afternoon did come out in 75 and is based on a true story and is this movie. This is Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
All right. Like, I knew it was based on a true story. I was just like, you know what? Sure.
It's one of my favorite movies. I love this movie so much.
I
Also,
only
the
know-
documentary is great. If you've ever seen The Dog, that guy sure can talk.
I only know this movie exists because of Swordfish.
And I think you might be the only person to only know that this movie exists because of Swordfish. I forgot Swordfish existed.
One of my favorites.
Was that based on a true story?
Definitely. I know you keep a running list. Add this movie to your list. It's wonderful.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Jamie, that was awesome.
Also in Dog Day Afternoon, under violence and gore, some minor scuffles are shown with protesters and law enforcement. Violence and gore, a man threatens that he is going to, quote, throw bodies out of the door one by one. Sex and nudity, while other women assist one of the hostages to go to the vault, there's a brief scene in which we see the lady's skirt pulled back, revealing some skin and the middle of the skirt. And violence and gore, people are threatened at gunpoint by bank robbers.
Is it RoboCop?
Definitely based off a true story.
Oh crap! That's why I keep getting wrong.
Sammie's now in the lead with 5 points. Connor at 4. Manix and Paul still at -1 each. We're going back up to Connor. Connor, would you like a movie from 2010, 2013, or 2016?
2016.
2016. From 2016 for 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes. There are frequent, prolonged scenes of strong threat and horror. Almost the whole movie is intense. All right, for 4 points, under violence and gore. In a vision, a man is impaled by a sharp tree trunk. Very brief, and no blood is shown.
Oh.
Oh?
Oh, no.
No. Oh.
No.
Okay, for 3 points under violence and gore. A woman, looking through the eyes of a serial killer, shoots 6 people in their sleep with a shotgun. Brief, but there's still blood shown.
Fuck, what's this movie?
Connor has a guess. Anybody else?
Damn it.
All right, Connor, what do you think?
It's not this, but Capote.
It is not Capote.
I'm
always. What was that?
Is it Pete's Dragon?
Damn
I've
it!
never seen it, so.
For 2 points, under frightening and intense scenes, there are several prolonged scenes in which children are terrorized by a supernatural threat, often in the form of demonic or ghostly spirits, and scenes in which a girl is possessed by an evil spirit.
Oh, I think I know.
Oh,
We have 2 hands up. Anybody else?
No.
No? Paul, what do you think this movie is?
Is it The Exorcist?
Connor, what do you think?
I think this is The Conjuring 2.
Manix, what do you think?
Emily Rose.
It is not The Exorcism of Emily Rose or The Exorcist. This is The Conjuring 2.
Because that was based on a real thing.
Yeah, I think so many exorcism movies say they're based on a real thing, and I don't know, but I know Conjuring 2 ends with pictures of the real people, and every Conjuring movie I've seen, I've hated, and I think I just don't like those people.
Listen, I live in the state where that movie supposedly took place. I live in the town next to the house that's supposedly taken place, and I'm pretty sure.
And he still got it wrong.
I'm pretty sure that someone just, maybe, I don't know. It just something doesn't seem right about the whole thing. So
it feels
you win though. Good job. I'm not good at this.
Final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, there are a lot of jump scares in the film. Some of them are very effective, including a ghost suddenly screaming, "My house," behind a girl, and a demon popping out from behind a painting of a creepy nun while still holding the painting in her hands. Connor and Sammie now tied with 5 each. Manix and Paul in second place with -2 each. Manix, would you like a movie from 2001, 2013, or 2019?
2001. I might know this movie. I'm failing, man.
All right, 2001 for 5 points, under violence and gore. There is a boxing match and 2 men punch each other repeatedly. One ends up with a cut on his eyebrow, which we see being stitched up, and the other has some blood around his mouth. There is a bar fight with several men being punched and the face and tables and chairs being thrown around. Sammie has a guess. Anybody else? Connor also has a guess. Paul also has a guess. Connor doesn't have a guess.
I'll stick to it.
All right, Paul, what do you think this movie is?
Is it The Black Dahlia?
Connor, what do you think?
Gangs of New York.
Sammie, what do you think?
Well, now I'm second guessing, but you know what? I think I'm late. I think it came out before this. So I'm going to say, is this the Cinderella Man?
It is not the Cinderella Man. It is not the Black Dahlia.
Oh.
It is not whatever Connor guessed, which I have completely dropped from my memory at this point.
Valid.
What was that, Connor?
Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York. No, it is not Gangs of New York.
All right.
Just needed to verify. For 4 points under sex and nudity, various scenes showing wounded soldiers with their buttocks exposed, either partially or entirely. That took away what you thought it was, Sammie?
I never.
No.
I just didn't put it down.
Nick, this is 2001?
2001.
Okay. Sorry.
For 3 points under violence and gore, there are air battles with planes being blown into pieces and crashing. One scene shows a fire breaking out on board a plane, and the pilot is unable to eject and eventually crashes into the water. A bullet-riddled plane is seen with a blood-covered cockpit. A huge number of dead bodies is seen floating in the water. A dead woman is tossed onto a pile of other dead bodies. Everybody but Manix has buzzed in. Sammie has not buzzed in anymore. Paul, what do you think this movie is?
Pearl Harbor?
Connor, what do you think?
I think it's Pearl Harbor.
This movie
that makes
is sense. Pearl Harbor.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thank God. I just don't want to be -1. I don't mind being -2.
I somehow forgot Pearl Harbor was just based on a true story.
Wow.
That's fair.
Let Michael Bay do it.
That lack of information will live in infamy.
The best part about Pearl Harbor is the song from Team America.
Yes.
Pearl Harbor sucks and I miss you. Also in Pearl Harbor, under violence and gore, the attack is shown in great detail. Bombers fly overhead, shooting at, bombing, and dropping torpedoes on naval vessels. Men are shown being blown through the air, falling from ships, and drowning. Carrier sinks, dropping men into the water and trapping men inside. And frightening and intense scenes. It's a Michael Bay movie. More explosions than you can count.
I mean, honestly, that is I mean, I don't understand what this this review is. It's basically based on a horrific thing that happened in America. People died. People were blown up. That's what the movie is about.
But somehow there were a bunch of people's buttocks shown, and Michael Bay made that
also,
decision.
I do have to say I misread what they wrote down for the last clue. I copy and pasted this. This is word for word. It's a Michael Bay movie. More explosions that you can count.
That you can count.
Much like anything.
You can go ahead and count those. Connor is at 7, Sammie at 4. Paul, you're back up to 0. Manix at -2.
Sweet. Let's change that.
All right, Paul, well, you get to pick this year. Would you like a movie from 2006, 2017, or 2018?
Let's go 2018.
2018.
I haven't done good at any of these, so I don't.
All right, from 2018 for 5 points under violence and gore. The main character accidentally breaks a drinking glass after receiving bad news. He sees that there's a long cut on his palm, some blood. Okay, for 4 points under frightening and intense scenes. Seeing this film in the cinema can get very loud. There are several long scenes with loud rockets and other machines that could potentially be stressful for some viewers. Watch out, seeing this in a movie theater could be loud. For 3 points under violence and gore, astronauts being burned while calling for help and trying to unbuckle their seatbelts.
Oh, okay.
Paul has a guess. Anybody else? Manix also has a guess. Manix, what do you think it is?
Oh, don't pick me first. I can't remember the name of it. Gravity. Was it Gravity?
Paul, what do you think?
Is it Apollo 13?
It is not Gravity. It is also not Apollo 13. Connor, I do have to read the next clue.
Yep. My answer.
All right, for 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, there is a scene where the Gemini 8 rocket begins to spin uncontrollably and gets very loud and intense. The other pilot next to Neil quickly loses consciousness, and Neil almost passes out too. It takes nearly 5 minutes of screen time to stabilize the spinning, though the real event lasted for about an hour.
Fuck, I can't remember what it's called, but I know this movie.
All right.
So mad.
Manix, what do you think?
I'm going for broke. Is it Apollo 11?
Connor, what do you think?
Is it First Man?
It is not Apollo 11. This movie is Damien Chazelle's First
Yeah, it
Man.
fucking is. Yeah, it is.
Finally,
I kept it like one man.
finally, Damien Chazelle decided to make a movie where white people don't explain jazz to you.
Oh, you haven't seen the director's cut?
Well, I assumed that this whole movie was a mistake. I think that they thought they were making a Louis Armstrong biopic starring Ryan Gosling. And under violence and gore, Armstrong endures a minor wreck while testing, resulting in abrasions on the side of his face. Connor now at 9, Sammie at 4, Paul at -1, Manix at -4.
See, that one made me angry. Because
Sammie, would you like a movie from 1987, 2007, or 2018?
You know what? Let's do 2018.
Let's do 2018. All right, this movie also came out in 2018, same year as First Man. For 5 points under profanity, someone is called, quote, a treacherous piss flap.
I don't know, but I need to see this movie.
All right. Manix, what do you think this movie is?
Bohemian Rhapsody?
This movie is Bohemian
Yeah,
Rhapsody.
nice.
Wow.
I've been waiting for you to ask that one. I knew that was going to be a hint.
Did you look this up?
No. I'm just like, okay, he's being called something, and that sounds extremely British, so it has to be.
Can I
It
tell
is
you?
very memorable, yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite scene watching Bohemian Rhapsody in theaters?
What's that?
There's a scene in the movie where Freddie Mercury pulls out a handkerchief and coughs and looks down at the handkerchief and sees blood. And an older woman behind me went, "Oh no." And that is my favorite part of Bohemian Rhapsody. That poor woman who is about to be real sad that something's going to happen to that character.
That's the same person that doesn't know that the Titanic sinks in the movie. Sorry, Nick.
Also, I'm pretty sure coughing
What the
into
hell?
a handkerchief isn't. Also in Bohemian Rhapsody, under violence and gore, the band members occasionally argue and get into minor fights, but nothing brutal occurs. Sex and nudity, a man leads another group of men dressed in leather into a man's house. It's implied that they are planning on having an orgy. However, nothing happens as the main character walks out on them moments later. Violence and gore, when the band makes fun of Roger Taylor, he abruptly throws dishes and slams the table. This is only heard. He then threatens to hit Brian May with a coffee pot, but John Deacon stops him. And sex and nudity.
Could have opened with that.
Sexual remarks about the protagonist, Freddie Mercury. Connor is still at 9, Sammie at 4. Manix is pulled to 1 point, Paul at -1. We are coming towards the end.
So was the last one the Elton John biopic?
The last Rocket Man.
Let's go with 2019.
We have 4 movies remaining, 1 more for each of you, 1 more go around. Connor, would you like a movie from 1991, 2006, or 2019?
We got to go 91.
We have to go 91.
We have to. It's just that's how it is.
It's the law. All right, from 1991 for 5 points under sex and nudity, a woman tells her husband that he has 1 hour to himself and then he is all hers. And he replies saying, quote, "I'll show you how the night was invented," implying that they are planning on having sex. I don't know if that's what implied means. I don't know what that sentence means. "I'll show you how the night was invented."
Yep.
Is said by a man in this movie.
That sounds like a threat.
"I'll show you how the night was invented."
Are you going to murder me? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, the opening scene has intense music as it details the 10 minutes leading up to a man getting shot. When the shot occurs, the screen quickly drops to black and 3 very loud shots are heard.
91.
91. No?
No.
Okay, for 3 points under frightening and intense scenes. Throughout the film, a lot of things happen that are related to the conspiracy that can make you feel paranoid about the characters. Paranoid about the characters and their partnership with each other. This, plus the soundtrack and direction style, can make the audience feel persecuted and overwhelmed for the amount of information that is shown in the film.
I changed my mind. It was probably a mistake.
Connor has a guess. Anybody else? Connor. Oh, Paul, what do you think the movie is?
True Lies.
Connor, what do you think?
Is this? I think it's later, but JFK.
It is not True Lies. The man being shot at the beginning is John F. Kennedy. This is JFK.
Oh man, I knew I was wrong.
I made the right call.
That's another great John Candy movie. John Candy turns in actually a pretty good dramatic performance in that.
Oh, yeah.
As the over-the-top Cajun lawyer who is, believe it or not, overweight. But, it's really good.
How did he pull it off?
He was great in that.
It's a movie that just exists to be used in the Kevin Bacon game.
Yes.
Also in JFK, under sex and nudity, William O'Keefe tells Garrison that he doesn't know anything because he's never been fucked in his behind, meaning he doesn't know why they dislike the president. This is mostly played for laughs. And Violence and Gore, the Zapruder film, is shown a few times, displaying a graphic and gory head wound of Kennedy. There is a brief depiction of murder.
That's murder. What's the definition of murder?
Murder, if I've ever heard it. You see murder in this movie. It's like murder.
It's the actual murder of someone.
You see real life blood and gore in this movie. It's
sort
of like murder. People who don't like murder should not watch this movie.
Is that part of the review?
It
I would believe it.
Connor's at 12, Sammie at 4, Manix at 1, Paul at -2. There's still 15 points on the board. It's not a runaway yet.
I think it is.
Manix, would you like a movie from 1997, 1999, or 2018?
How about 1999?
1999.
And
party it up.
Sammie already has a guess. For 5 points from 99 under Sex and Nudity, Conor also has a guess.
Yeah.
A woman talks about a rim job.
Huh.
All right.
Pornhub, right?
Most of Pornhub is based on a true story.
Okay.
I'm going to go in reverse order just because you both buzzed in before the movie even said anything. So, Sammie, what is your guess?
Listen, I have to rewatch October Sky, but
Conor, what is your guess?
My original guess was Three Kings,
It is not Three Kings. It is not October Sky.
but it is October Sky.
are you sure?
I'll give it a go.
I will have to read this next clue, and then I'll ask you. For 4 points under violence and gore, a woman takes a pen and threatens to stab herself in her aorta. But the scene is played for comical reasons.
Oh, man.
Does that change your guess, Paul?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. Conor, what do you think?
I don't think it's this year, but Erin Brockovich.
Sammie, what do you think?
Oh, that's the right guess, but I'm saying Girl Interrupted.
You're right.
It is not Erin Brockovich. It is a movie that Sammie pre-guessed with in the based on a book episode, but really thought she was going to pre-guess with it again this time. She did it, but she still gets points for Girl Interrupted. This is Girl Interrupted.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I
Nice
thought
one.
for sure when I said 99, you had it.
Listen, I had like 5 movies ready to go for 99.
And you went with October Sky.
Yes.
To be fair, there's a great rim job scene in October.
Also in Girl Interrupted
We're
under
talking
profanity.
about rockets.
Under profanity, when the girls are at an outing with the nurses,
Different in that technique.
they visit an ice cream parlor, and one of the girls starts talking about toppings in a suggestive manner, and another girl blurts out explicit genitalia terms. Frightening and intense scenes. The whole film is intense and gives a disturbing, powerful look at mental illness and violence and gore. A woman working in the institution forcefully grabs a woman out of her bed, carrying her and then throwing her into a bathtub. It's done purposefully to awaken the woman who is half asleep. Yeah, the other thing is you might have noticed from most of these movies, it's hard to do a fun game about movies based on a true story because they don't tend to make movies based on true fun stories.
Yeah.
Except Patch Adams.
Yeah. Good morning,
Only
Vietnam. One
Yeah,
flew
nothing
over
bad
Cuckoo's
about
Nest.
Vietnam. Connor is at 10. Sammie is at 7. Manix is at 1. Paul is at -2. 2 movies remain. Paul, would you like a movie from 1979, 1994, or 2016?
Oh, not that it matters. Well, let's go 2016.
2016.
Not gonna get it.
2016 for 5 points. Under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a vodka brand named Grey Goose is mentioned.
Wait, let me.
Sammie has a guess. Anybody else have a guess? I think Connor's fiddling around.
I'll guess. Yeah.
You'll guess too? Okay.
Why the fuck not?
Anybody else? Okay. Conor, what do you think?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Sammie, what do you think?
I'm I have the year wrong.
So do I.
I'm saying I, Tonya. It's not I, Tonya.
It is not I, Tonya. It is not The Wolf of Wall Street. Really opening up this game by the point leaders continually guessing incorrectly. For 4 points under sex and nudity, an airline worker flirts with a passenger and allots him seat 6C.
Huh.
6C.
Oh.
Manix is a guess.
I don't know what the movie's fucking called, but I think I know what this is.
All right, Manix, what do you think?
Is this going to be a Tom Hanks movie
I don't know.
called Sully?
It sure is a Tom Hanks movie called Sully.
Yes!
Finally, Tom Hanks.
There had to be a Tom Hanks movie.
Those poor gray geese.
Uh-huh. Now you see why I included that clue. It's very funny if anybody got it from that. Also in Sully, under violence and gore, some nightmare sequences of planes crashing and exploding. Quite intense. Violence and gore, there are some mild scenes of peril, as seen after a plane crashes into the river, with shots of passengers evacuating the plane and waiting to be rescued while standing on the sinking aircraft, and frightening and intense scenes based on true events. This is a drama about an airline pilot who safely landed U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the frozen Hudson River in 2009. The film follows the investigations that took place in the wake of the incident. Again, wasn't sure how much anybody would remember Sully, so I gave you everything at the end.
The second airplane was mentioned.
One movie remains. Connor, you're at 9. Sammie at 6. Manix at 5. Paul at -2. We're going to go to the final movie. Sammie's going to get to choose that. Sammie, would you like a movie from 2006, 2013, or 2019?
2006.
2006. Really ruining the fun I was going to have by making Rocket Man the last movie.
Dare you?
Instead, we're going to 2006. For 5 points, final movie of the night under sex and nudity. A couple of pictures show a woman kissing a man on a boat. She's in a bikini and the man is in swimming trunks.
Sounds like a good time.
All right, for 4 points under violence and gore. A headless dead stag is shown hanging upside down with a bit of blood on the floor. The head of the stag is altar shown on a table, and a mild wound is shown on his cheek. Just reading the words in front of me, even when they don't make sense. You feel like you've seen this movie, haven't you?
You know what? I'm gonna guess.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna guess.
Hold on.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna guess.
Hold on.
I'm gonna guess too.
All right, Connor, take a guess.
It's not the right year. I don't know why I thought this, but I'm going with the Queen.
Sammie, take a guess.
Wolf Creek.
It is not Wolf Creek. This movie is The Queen.
What the fuck?
Jesus.
Are you shitting me?
Wow.
Holy shit.
I don't know how
That's
you
fucked.
did that.
That one is so fucked. I just tried to zone in the year, and
And we're
the
sure
sex
you
and
picked the
nudity
wrong
is two
year.
people on a boat kissing, then they're proper. I'm fucking blown away by this one.
I am
this-
also blown away.
Stag hunting. I don't know. I've never seen it. I know it's Stephen Frears. I know Helen Mirren won an Oscar for it. And apparently there's a stag with his head cut off. Wow. All right.
Well, to finish that off, let's read the last of these clues under profanity.
Fuck.
The F word is comically used once at the beginning of the film by the Prime Minister's wife. Quote, "Thank you very much. Now fuck off." Though it's not aggressive. Frightening and intense scenes. The scene in which a character is chased by the paparazzi may upset some viewers, as they'll most likely know she gets killed in a car accident. And profanity.
Oh, Diane is on the boat. Okay.
Yep, this movie is about the Queen dealing with the fallout of Diana's death.
Diane. Yeah.
Which I only know because I put together these clues. And profanity, miscellaneous people throughout the movie refer to either the deceased princess or the main character in derogatory or cynical terms, like the old bat, just to give one example. The cynicism and tabloid-oriented views may sound repulsive. That was The Queen. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight. Paul at -2, Manix and Sammie tied at 5 points each, but pulling away at the end. Conor at 13, making Conor the winner tonight.
I get a participation trophy.
You absolutely do. You were great. Thank you for doing this show. Thank you all for doing this show. This was so much fun. Before we go, if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or just any last words, Sammie, I'll start with you.
Hey, you can find me on all social media at Sammie James. I run too many things, but one of them you can see this Saturday, my monthly show, The Waiting Room. It's all health and healthcare comedy and storytelling. That's this Saturday, the July 23rd. Yeah, that's time. At 7 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. You can get those tickets on Eventbrite, and you get to see me hosting Katie Zane, Gianmarco Ceresi, Michelle Carlo, Dahlia Bell, and Asher O'Brien. Didn't forget his name to stop.
It's just a good lineup. That sounds like a lot of fun. Sammie, thanks for doing this as always. Manix, I'll go to you because it seems like you've hidden behind your promotion.
I'm not promoting anything, but if you really like graphic things and you want something fun printed out and given to you for some amount of money, you can hit me up at this email address right there. I'm not even on the video at all, am I?
No, you're just showing your advertisement. It's actually pretty professional.
There you go.
No, there we go. Yeah, no, cover exactly what they need to go to contact you.
Contact me here or on Facebook at the other here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can make things happen for you.
Perfect.
And by we, I mean me.
Paul, is there anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'm going to be on several local shows in New England, which doesn't apply to anything online. They're too far away for me to actually give dates. I'll be doing a set behind a couple of farms in my town. I won't be selling drugs. I will be doing actual comedy. Yeah. If you need to get a hold of me, you can find me at Paul Kilmer. I'm gonna go now.
Paul, you were great. Thank you so much for doing this. Finally, our winner, Conor. Is there anything you want to say?
Fun times. Thanks for having me. If anyone gives a shit, I'm starting to play music on Twitch, it's really just me kind of fucking around. And my name is Conor Shanahan, 1NOR like honor, and I'm Conor Shanahan Music. If you want to go check that out, by all means, come on by. Otherwise, just have a great fucking night, guys.
Hell yeah. Thank you all so much for doing this. once again, Conor Shanahan, Manix Catino, Paul Kilmer, Sammie James. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We do this show Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. So you're going to want to go ahead and like and subscribe and do YouTuber stuff. And if you want to be on this show, I want you on this show. Like I said, I'm going to start booking for August shows coming up very soon. So look out for all of those places. And before we do that, come back next week. On Monday, we're going to do another round of movies starring people who were on SNL. And next Thursday, we're going to do movies about or starring animals. I don't know. I am running out of ideas. If you have any, please let me know because I got to keep doing this show. We've been doing it for 109 episodes. And
I've never been more confident than movies about animals.
It's going to be fun.
Heads being pulled out of boxes. Whole show.
Thank you.